And I'll be talking about leadership. Have you ever wondered about a good leadership? I have. Been a leader for most of my life with my friends and have been a leader of childcare for Celebrate Recovery for 10 years. So that made me wonder about the qualities of a good leadership, or what makes it an effective leader. Leadership is important, and with this and a lot of events happening around the world, so many questions arises in mine and others. What happened to communication? It is important to have communication in leadership, because if you do not have communication, then you practically have nothing. If you cannot communicate to your followers, the communication process breaks down. On February 2nd, 2012, Paymer quoted James Hume in her article, Speak Like a Leader. It says, as James Hume, a speechwriter for 5 presidents, once said, the art of communication is the language of leadership. If you want to be a leader, you must be a presenter that connects with the audience and delivers a memorable message. Communication is everything in leadership. If you do not have an effective communication skills, then you cannot get your message across, which would be a loss. With communication, they need to be motivating. Motivation is another key component to leadership. Motivation is important because it stirs up the hope within some to do better than they were. I know, once people are motivated, the increase of achievement will be more, and people will look up to you. With great motivation comes great responsibilities. Being responsible for your action is important to leadership. In Forstile article in Business and Ethics Journal, East Meets West, a meta-analyst investigation of cultural variations in idealism and realism, in the 83rd edition, pages 813, 833, through 833. One can deduce that followers are distrustful when the leader believes that ethics are similar in nature. For example, that telling the truth or sharing important information depends on context or timing. Indeed, in the U.S. culture in which the current research took place, followers are likely to desire consistency in their leadership. In their leaders, in terms of the display of values and behaviors relevant to the ethical code, while at same time expecting pragmatism in terms of idealism. Responsibility is very important, because if the leader is not, then how could they be a good leader? Imagine if there was a person you looked up to and they found out they were irresponsible. What would you feel? Sadness, unhappy, appalled? That is one reason why it's important. In certain cases, when leaders are not responsible for their action, it could cause riots. With being responsible, they need to set visions and setting goals. Visions and goal setting are very important qualities of being a leader. According to our textbooks that was published in 2010, the authors Goodall H.L. Jr., Goodall S., and Schweissenbrain say, when we choose a goal, we analyze the possible outcomes of a communication setting. It's important to apply a global mindset when choosing a communication goal. If you do not have a vision or goal, then leadership is going nowhere. You need to have a vision before entering leadership, or sometimes it could be hard. Goals are markers along the way to reach your vision. If you want to become better, you make your bed every morning. You accomplish a small goal which will motivate you to do more. If it turns out to be a bad day, you will have a nice bed to come home to. With all that said, that's why it's important to have those qualities. In conclusion, I went through the 4 qualities that a leader should have. I talked about communication, why it's important. After that, I went into why motivation is a key component to leadership. I talked about why leaders should be responsible. Then in the end, with why vision and goal setting are important keys to becoming a leader. I leave you with a quote from Eric Hofstra, dockside philosopher, from part of his 1955 journal named The Passion, State of Mind, and other Prometheus, made this observation. The remarkable thing is that we really love our neighbor only as much as we love ourselves. We do unto others as we do unto ourselves. We hate others when we hate ourselves. We are tolerant towards others when we tolerate ourselves. We forgive others when we forgive ourselves. It is not love of self, but hatred of self, which is at the root of the troubles that afflict our world.